All right. How was everybody? Steve Green. So I'm going to start in a second here. So this is called the 60-day summer challenge. About that. Yeah. I also got a new mic. So maybe you can give me some feedback on it. Recommended highly by all my heavy duty tech podcast people. Anyway, I'm going to start this. Let me get my timer. Hang on. Yeah, timer's missing. Doesn't matter. We're just going with it. So 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Steve Green, the Success Doctor, 60-day challenge. 60-day summer challenge. That's what I'm going to put out there today. Here's what I'm going to get at right away. And this is going to be a podcast going to be a little different than some of my recent ones and maybe some of the future ones as well. Because here I'm actually going to reach out and ask you, my listeners, my audience, the parents, the students, the children, the teachers, educational professionals, everybody listening to this all over, to challenge yourself this summer. I don't know if you're in Australia, it's in the winter. I get it. Challenge yourself this summer while we have a break to ramp up your education. Commit to doing things that are going to make you a better student in the fall, make you a stronger student in the fall, make it easier for you to get the grades you want, the GPA you want, the SAT, ACT scores you want, and roll forward from there. And I don't expect you to do it alone. I'm going to give you some resources to help you. I'm going to tell you how I can help you. I can tell you how the Make the Grade Success community can help you, maybe even how this podcast can help you. But the key is this. It's not just enough. This time of year, do you want to know the most common, anybody want to guess, the most common conversation I have with people? Very, very common conversation I have with parents. Yeah. It's this. I am concerned my child's going to drop off, the dreaded summer drop off. How do I avoid it? How do I get my kids to do math in the summer? How do I get my kids to read in the summer? How do I get them to do anything in the summer? And let me say something right away. Let me get this out of the way. The summer is supposed to be fun. The summer is supposed to be a time to take a break. Maybe you go to camp. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you do arts and crafts. Maybe you horseback ride. Maybe you travel. Maybe you do all of them. It's fine. But commit. Here's the challenge. 20 to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Not that much compared to what you're doing the rest of the time. To furthering your education, furthering your academics. Whether you're in first grade, fifth grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 12th grade, college, doesn't matter. So let me tell you some of the things you can do. Okay? Number 1, just work on your academics. How do you avoid drop off? Don't lose what you had. You worked hard to get through the school year. Listen, I know that. This was a wacky school year. This might have been the wackiest school year ever. March 15th, plus or minus, shut down. Everybody's got to learn themselves at home. Getting minimal, sometimes none, sometimes decent, sometimes good instruction. Mostly teaching yourself or having your parents teach or maybe working with some kind of other support. But you survived it, and hopefully it worked out. And maybe you learned to be a little more self-reliant, but that's okay. So here's the thing, though. Wherever you left off when school shut down in June, you do not want to go below that level. So there's one area you can address is academics. Okay? Now, listen, it's easy to do. You got access to all the stuff. Just keep doing a little bit of math here and there. Keep reading. Keep looking at history. Keep working on Spanish. So one thing is you want to stay par. You don't want to lose where you are in your academics. So possible goal number 1 in this challenge, avoid drop off. Goal number 2, potentially, accelerate. Yeah, maybe you aced it through academic level or a lower level of a class. Do you want to accelerate up, level up, track up, whatever they're going to call it? Maybe it's time that you take on the challenge of honors classes. Okay. honors classes, AP classes, or if you're in fourth or fifth grade, a lower grade, a more accelerated, individualized track can always be done. And the summer's a good time to bridge that gap because a lot of classes will leave off at a certain point. And the honors class from the previous year got ahead of that. So you need to bridge that gap. Okay. Which is, I call course acceleration. There's another challenge. If you want help with remediation, bringing yourself back up, keeping yourself par, or accelerating, just reach out. Let me know how I can help you with it. Okay. Whoops. Here's how you can do that. Number 3, just get better academic habits. Time management, information management, daily success action plan. If you listened to this podcast before, and this is episode 65, you know I've talked about them many times. Why? Because they're core tenets in my book. They're core tenets in Maximum Education. So maybe you spend a little time learning how to get better at calendaring, at time management. Maybe you get better at outlining. Maybe you get better at taking notes. Maybe you get better at organizing. Maybe you get better at planning out your day. Maybe you get better doing all of these. You get a system. Maybe you do it while you are trying to level up and accelerate. Bring it all together. Third challenge is read. I know you don't like to read. Maybe you do like to read. You don't want to read the books they're forcing you to read in school. I'm not saying I don't get that, but it is important to keep your mind going. Reading is a tremendous neurostimulant. It stimulates your brain, stimulates your imagination. It's a very powerful and effective tool. If you don't want to read something, then find a book you do want to read. Make that part of this challenge. Find a book or two you want to read about a topic that you enjoy. There are millions of books, or just online. But I'm challenging you to read. Let me recap here. Challenge number 1, stay par. Don't drop your academic levels. No drop off. Challenge 2, acceleration. Can you work ahead? Challenge 3, maximize your education, maximum education skills, time management, information management, daily success action plan, all the good stuff I talk about, I pontificate about, and everybody loves, right? Do you love it? Everybody loves it. They love it because it works. It makes your life easier. It gets you to get better grades. 4th challenge, read. Read. 5th challenge, do something physical. Get outside, walk, run, play a sport, play soccer, play basketball, play baseball, play field hockey, do gymnastics, dance, whatever you're going to do. Please don't spend the summer. Swim. Swim. Hopefully we can. Swim. Please don't spend the summer sitting inside. Unless you're studying. Unless you're working on your academics or your time management, then it's okay. But remember, it's a 15, 20, 30-minute a day challenge. It's not a 6-hour a day thing. So let's talk about the last thing, which is accountability. I would challenge you to find someone to keep you accountable. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I will do it for anybody that wants it. You want somebody to make sure you're doing what you're going to do. We can do it through social media. We can do it through the Make the Grade community, do it through email or Voxer or one of these things. You need to find someone who will hold you accountable. Somebody's going to say, hey, did you do your 20 minutes today? What'd you work on? Well, I worked on math. Great. How'd it go? Did you do your reading? How's that going? Have you worked on your calendaring? How's that going? Are you feeling ready for August or September when you go back to school? Not even just ready. Are you feeling stronger than when you started? And listen, let me tell you a little story. I always liked school. Maybe I was odd that way. I like the social aspect. I would like going there and hanging out with my friends. I always found it interesting to learn. In summer, I always went to camp. Parents sent me to overnight camp. In fact, my mother worked there as well. And what happened was I used to have to come home and do all my summer work at the end because you just didn't do it at the camp. So I'd come home, we'd have like 2 weeks, and I have to jam in all that work, all the math packets and the reading. And it was fine. But I would have liked it better if I could have spread it out, worked on it every day, and run from there. So let's just sum up. And I really want you to listen to this. If you're a parent, play this with your kids. Challenge you just to do one, but I'm going to give you 6. No academic drop off, number 1. Academic acceleration, number 2. Maximum education skills, time management, information management, and daily success action plan, number 3. Read, number 4. 5, do something physical. 6, get some accountability. Get an accountability partner. You will thank yourself in in July and August and September when you go back to school. So whether you are in first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, college doesn't matter. This will help everyone. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different kind of podcast, but still my theme here every single time is to give you students, parents, actions you can take to maximize your education. Some you can do immediately. In fact, all of them I would like to think you could do immediately. This one's a little bit longer term, but the benefits are going to be longer term as well. Think about that. Invest in yourself. So I am going to challenge you, parents, challenge you to get your students, your kids involved in this, to take this on. I guarantee you're going to thank yourself when school gets back. I got plenty of tips in the podcast. There is 24/7 support in the Make the Grade Success community. And there'll be plenty of other people out there to help you. That's what we need. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here in a second. Steve Green, the Make the Grade podcast. It's all about actions parents and students can take to maximize their education. And that is the goal. I'll get with you next week. Have a great summer. I'm going to be giving you tips like this and support like this all summer. I really appreciate it if you could share this podcast. I really believe, and this is not with any hubris or anything, that the more people that get this information, the more people that benefit. And that's a good thing. So appreciate it. Dr. Stephen Green, the Success Doctor. Get you next time. Thank you very much. So long.